Hey, there's the music. That means it's time for Animal Talk. Some of the best doggone pet people on the planet here to help you with your pets. I'm Jamie Flanagan. Want to take a second? Thank you for finding us, sharing some time with us. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, do all those podcast things in all the podcast places. It helps out immensely. And what we're going to do is help you with your pets. That is the whole mission and goal in our lives. We've done this for years and years, and we have tons and tons of your calls stored, and we're going to share them back with you as we roll through some of the best of Animal Talk. We had some amazing interviews, some incredible celebrities, some amazing inventors. We're going to share all those with you as well. Remember, Animal Talk is for entertainment purposes only. Any medical advice, training tips should be checked with your local veterinarian and local behaviorist. Never know. Always good to just have a double check. Again, entertainment purposes only, and we hope you're entertained with Animal Talk. Don't forget to visit our sponsors, wearingfunny.com, for all your pet parent clothing needs. Wearingfunny.com. Are you a cat mom? Are you a dog dad? We got the t-shirts for you. Wearingfunny.com. Visit it now. Hey, we even take requests. Are you a ferret friend? We'll make you a t-shirt. Just let us know what it is you're looking for. Head over to wearingfunny.com, and you can email me directly, jamie@animaltalkradio.com, if you have any questions about that. But there's some super cool, super amazing swag to get your hands on there. Wearingfunny.com for all your pet parent clothing needs. Here we go. It's Animal Talk.
I'm Dr. Brad Davis. I'm here to answer any veterinary questions you might have.
And, of course, if your pets are acting up like Brad and I do on occasion.
I'm Donna, and I'm here to answer training questions.
And, of course, my name's Jamie. I'm just trying to make sure everybody has a good time. And, Brad, how's your week, sir?
Oh, just lovely. As, again, we should point out,
we are broadcasting live from Detroit.
We're here for the
Super Bowl festivities.
Woo. Woo.
It's crazy in the city. And it's just that we'll go to no lengths. We'll stop at no lengths just to bring the entertainment in. So here we are in Detroit for the Super Bowl.
In fact, to be here for the Super Bowl for you people,
yes,
we were born here. We were born here,
just
and we've been waiting.
Event.
That's right. That's
several years. And so, some people fly in. No, born right here.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's
Yes.
So we've got a leg up on the other entertainment news. Is that what you're saying?
Well, we don't say leg up when we're talking about dog things, but no.
But we're going to have some fun tonight. We are going to have a Fact or Fiction. We're going to play a little game called Fact or Fiction, and it has a Super Bowl theme to it. So true and false stories about
I'm not going to know the answers to any of it.
Oh, and let me say this. Finding facts about animals in the Super Bowl, not a problem.
Everyone. Besides all the fun and frolicking that we do on the show, we help you with your pet when you give us a call.
Thank you.
Oh, there wasn't anybody there. But we have somebody here now. Johnny wanted to talk to us about a dog. Johnny, welcome to Animal Talk.
Hello. I'm actually calling for a friend who's in the hospital.
Okay.
But she had gone down to Katrina and worked with one of the animal rescue groups down there. And she came back and she brought a larger breed dog, probably about 80 pounds. And she had a large breed dog. And there was another dog down there that she really wanted, but medically they couldn't release him yet because he was having some health issues.
Right.
And I just went with her last weekend to Denver, and we picked him up from the animal shelter. And the two Katrina dogs are not getting along. They're having a real hard time with each other. The one that she had brought back previously, she had it neutered, but it's very needy and very fur dog type of a thing.
Right.
And the new dog that came in is very emotionally needy too.
Okay, Johnny, we're gonna tackle this right after this break. Well, Johnny has a dog and a couple dogs. A friend has a dog. Rescued him from Katrina, brought him up from New Orleans and the areas that were hit down there, and they're taking care of him. Two of the pooches are just not getting along, is what you're telling us.
Right.
Okay, what's your concern now?
One is neutered and one isn't.
Okay, now are they growling at each other and being like, "I'm mad at you," or are they like biting and rolling on the ground and chewing on each other's necks?
They haven't let them get too close together.
Okay, that could be.
One time one time they were walking them together, and the one turned on it and bit the other one and drew some blood on its lip. They do have they're used to being in kennels, and they have their kennels by each other, so they're getting used to each other's smell and stuff.
Yeah. All right, Johnny, it sounds like, I mean, there might be additional things. Now, they did draw blood, and they're going after each other, so you got to be really, really careful about this. But keeping them apart might be some of the stress. So you have to really gingerly and carefully introduce these guys, and then kind of let the chips fall where they may. And if it looks like they're going to be aggressive, then probably, you're going to have to find different homes for these fellas.
Yeah, usually what we recommend, I mean, obviously having them neutered definitely helps. If the hormones aren't there, then they're not going to be as focused on that because there's no hormones telling them that. Now, depending on how long they've had those hormones will depend on how long, this has been a habit. Some dogs, it's easier if you try to always have them meet on what's considered neutral territory. The one dog was in the home before the other dog came home, so he already views that as being his. Now, this new dog is the interloper. We're not sure about this one, and he's saying, hey, you're in my property, and I don't like this. So usually getting them onto neutral territory. Now, when you said that they were walked together, what were they side by side? Were they, what type of training tools were being utilized at that moment?
The husband had one on a leash and the wife had one on a leash.
Okay.
And I know she has some type of female dog pheromone that she plugged into her house that it's the mother dog pheromones or something, and it's supposed to help settle them. And she was wondering if she maybe should get the muzzles for their mouths and just let them go in the backyard and see what happens.
Well, no, I would not recommend just letting them go. There's a lot of issues that you've got to work from. Knowing that these dogs were in a horrible situation, displaced like their previous owners had been, had to fend for themselves and learned how to deal with things on their own. So this is something where if you put those muzzles on, I guarantee you a dog can get a muzzle off if they want it off. And to just let them kind of have at it is actually not going to be very good either. We have to. What I'd recommend doing first and foremost would be getting a behavior evaluation performed on each of these dogs to make sure that in a moment of stress, they will accept a correction from a human. Because if they will not accept a correction, any kind of correction, then we're looking at a more serious situation to where definitely these two dogs could not be housed together. You have to be able to correct the unwanted behavior. And if the dog is so focused and angry, they don't always know that the owner is the one that's putting their hands in the middle of the situation, and people tend to get hurt with that. So I'd recommend having these dogs have a behavior evaluation first and foremost. They will do it separately. A behaviorist will put the dogs through quite a bit of ringers. They'll give them a lot of different tests to see how do they deal with these different stresses. Once we find out how these dogs will deal with these stresses, that'll give us a better idea of how we now need to handle it. But at this point, I would definitely only have those dogs together on neutral territory, a place that neither dog claims to own.
Okay.
And they should be, it may not be a bad idea to get muzzles just for the meetings, but there has to be some sort of correction involved to let them know that this is not acceptable. You going after this other dog, not acceptable. We have to be able to correct that, but we have to first make sure that we can. I've seen
let them go at it. I meant
no,
supervised. At least they couldn't hurt each other.
Yeah.
Well,
muzzle, so.
Brad, I'm sure you've had this experience. I've been bitten through a muzzle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
so they can still do some damage even with those muzzles on. So that I'd be really careful about that. Let's first find out what kind of behaviors these dogs exhibit under stress when there's not a whole lot going on except for the owners and a behaviorist in the room. Let's find out how these dogs deal with the stress, and then we can work from there.
Okay, I know she was willing to do that. The new addition to the house is getting neutered on the end of this week.
Good.
Mm-hmm. That'll probably help.
Yeah, a lot of changes really can affect a dog's behavior, and the next best thing to do in the meantime until we can get with a behaviorist is schedule everything in their lives, everything. Meal times happen at the exact same time every day. They get a playtime at the exact same time every day. They get their one-on-one attention at the exact same time every day. Walks happen at the exact same time every day. Even if you have to flip-flop these dogs for right now, one dog goes first, the other dog goes second. That's the way we're going to have to do it, because if we keep trying to force the issue, we're going to create more stress. Let's get these dogs on a steady schedule first so that everything that they've been through, this is another change for them.
Yeah.
They went from, this horrible situation, being pulled out of the floodwaters, and then coming to the in a sense, a way station and staying there, and now moving into a new home. So there's been a lot of changes and a lot of stresses going on.
It's huge. There's a lot of animals still down there.
Yes, there are.
Okay,
and it's great.
well,
It's great that she took 2 dogs out of there. That's a wonderful thing.
Johnny, good luck, and let us
on the information.
Let us know how it works out. We would really like to hear the follow up on these. So get back with us and let us know how these guys get along. All right.
I'll have her call you.
Wonderful. You do that. Thanks a lot, Johnny.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Now, Donna, the woman Johnny and her dogs, her friends' dogs.
Mm-hmm.
It's my friend's dogs. Finger quotes. No, but her friends' dogs being dragged out of New Orleans and the flood area. How much of a shock is that? And can they, will that really screw up a dog's behavior? I mean, can that become aggressive?
They can. If they're left to their own devices, it's quite a change. They had to go from being taken care of to learn how to take care of themselves in a pretty devastating situation. And they became very self-reliant, and this can cause a problem when trying to reintegrate them into a human-animal relationship.
Okay. Time for some relearning. So why don't we do this? Why don't we have a little bit of fun right now?
Fact or fiction? You decide.
Alrighty, Brad, we'll let you go first.
So what we're going to be doing is guessing which is the true fact. We have 3 facts.
Out the rules. That's always
one is true. The other 2 are fake.
Okay.
If you can guess which one is the fake fact, you win a fabulous prize. The first fact would be, at Super Bowl 30 in Tempe, Arizona, halftime singer Vanessa Williams performed despite being worried about her Yorkie Parker, who got out of her dressing room and into the crowd. He was found unharmed a few minutes after she finished her set.
Okay. Oh, boy. Fact number 2. I guess I'm going next.
All right.
All right. In the 40 Super Bowls, less than 10 have been played without one participating team, city, or nickname being animal-related.
All right, and our third fact, the only Super Bowl MVP with an animal name was Pittsburgh wide receiver Lynn Swann from Super Bowl X in Miami. That'll be Super Bowl 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Super Bowl X is the only one you wanted to go to because you thought it was a movie.
Really? It's not a movie? All right, there you go. Three Super Bowl facts. 2 of them are false. 1 is absolutely true. You tell us the true fact, and you win a fabulous prize. Of course, you can always visit our website throughout the week if you ever have questions and send us emails. People do that all the time, and we like to answer those throughout the week and on the weekend. And, Brad, you have an email sitting there from somebody? What do you got?
Dear Animal Talk.
You've got mail, baby, yeah.
My son wants an iguana. He's 11. I don't think he's ready for the responsibility. My husband says it's just a lizard. I think that's awful. What do you think? This is signed Lisa. And I think what they're saying is that her husband's saying, okay, so what? It's a lizard. It dies. And
right.
I think that's what he's basically getting at there.
Yeah, well, having an iguana is a big responsibility. A lot of care goes into it. They have to have proper housing. They have to have proper food, and it's not something you can just pick up and throw in there. You've got to. There's nutritional requirements, and you have to blend a lot of different things in order to get the proper iguana diet. And the housing is so important as well. So this is not something that you take lightly. If your 11-year-old is desperately wanting one, start researching it with them. That'll give the family something to do together. Let's look into what it requires to take care of such a critter. And do we have the room? I mean, one of my former friends had a huge iguana setup. Just enormous, multiple layers where the iguanas could come and go, and every summer would make sure that they got moved outside so that they had the proper amount of sunlight. There's just so much care that goes into them that an 11-year-old may not be responsible enough, but it's going to depend on your 11-year-old. You may have a very responsible 11-year-old. Most important, though, check into it. Look at it. See, is this a responsibility that you guys also want to take on? Because this is not something really for one person. This is a multi-person task.
And it's
to
a
have-
bonding opportunity. But what do you think about people who say, you know what, let's just get them a goldfish because if it dies, it dies? Is that a big deal or not?
I really don't think that's the right reason to get a pet.
Right.
I mean, really, a pet should enrich your life. A pet should be a part of your life and something that brings joy to your life, even if it is a goldfish that, to most people wouldn't seem like a lot. But this is something that's, more. This is a commitment. This is a life of that animal commitment that you're making to take care of them. So taking any of them lightly, whether it's an iguana, a goldfish, a dog, or a cat, this is a commitment for at least 3 to 5 years on the onset. Even if you have a gerbil, they might live 5 years.
Yeah.
So this is something that you should never take lightly. If you're trying to teach your kid responsibility, there's many other ways to teach them responsibility instead of putting an animal's life as part of that.
And it's not a good lesson to teach.
No, it's
Have them
not.
babysit the neighbor's kids.
There you
that's
go.
start there.
Because if you
first.
lose a neighbor kid,
Aw.
It seems like there's lots of neighbor kids. So it's like,
like they're gonna run out. What?
but no. But yeah, I was kind of wondering about that too. People who say, you know what, it was just I
hate hearing it's just that's one of the things that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
When people say that when in my puppy class, like you'll get the husband and wife and it's just a dog. No, it's not a dog. This is a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that needs your love, your support, and your ability to feed it every day. Create a schedule for it.
Yeah.
This is more than just This is a whole life change.
Hey, it's Jamie. I got to hop on in here and remind you about our sponsor, wearingfunny.com. Wearingfunny.com for all your pet parent t-shirt needs. Head on over wearingfunny.com and check out the vast array of amazing, hilarious t-shirts. Thoughtful, cuddly, and cute for you and your kitties and your puppies. And hey, we take requests. If you have a critter that we don't have represented, let us know. We'll get you connected with just the perfect shirt for you and your critters, showing your love for being the best pet parent you can possibly be. Wearingfunny.com. Back to the show.
Animal Talk T-shirt. You can make your dog wear it.
Don't
If you're
want
like,
to wear it.
I don't know. I put it on the dog. He's been bad. And our website, animaltalkradio.com. It's coming up for a big overhaul real soon. And you can still get there now, though, animaltalkradio.com. And send us emails, and we answer those throughout the week and on the weekend, helping you with your pet through the modern science of electronics.
Mm-hmm.
We have another email over there?
Sure do.
All right.
Ready to hear Animal Talk.
You've got mail.
I've always wanted to own a Chihuahua and a Great Dane. I am a photographer, and I think pictures of the two of them together would be great. I have a Chihuahua. What are your thoughts about Great Danes? And this is signed Ben.
I love them. I do. I
You
love.
have, one of your dogs is like half Dane,
Yes,
isn't he?
she's 68%. No, I'm just kidding. Really
There's parts
serious about
it
that.
has. It's
Yes,
a
she's-
mixed breed, and
she's
you
a
think
mixed
there's some
breed.
Dane in there someplace.
Yeah, there's Dane and Shepherd.
Yeah.
That's the best that the shelter was able to provide me with. So somewhere along the way, there's a little bit of Dane and a little bit of Shepherd mixed in there.
Right.
And I'll tell you, I love the breed. I do.
They have those like blocky kind of heads.
Yes, they have big square heads, and I'll tell you, the tails though, the tails are the killers. Because when they're happy, they're really wagging, and I've actually gotten welts
Right on.
from my dog's tail. She clears my coffee table. So you have to have a lifestyle. You can't put anything on a coffee table if you have a Great Dane and expect them to be in the room. They're wonderful dogs. They are couch potatoes though, so you do want to spoil these dogs a little bit. They do need to have some exercise, but you have to make sure that they get enough comfort for their joints. Because bigger the breed, the more susceptible they can be to certain problems. So, but I think they're wonderful as a breed.
What about
Lifespan.
All right, so putting one together with a Chihuahua.
The Chihuahua will probably run that Great Dane's life.
Okay, well, there you
It's
go.
all based on personality.
Yeah.
Chihuahuas have pretty big personalities,
right.
and Great Danes tend to be big pushovers.
So it could be one of the cutest things ever.
Yes, it certainly
They
could.
tend to do a lot of that.
Yeah,
That's what you get a lot from Great
if
Dane.
you've ever read a Marmaduke comic, I mean, that's really a Great Dane right there.
So, I mean, if you're getting one as a puppy, then you can socialize it from the get-go.
Socialize it.
Or
I'd
if you're
recommend.
buying an older dog,
Yeah.
then you'll know its history and make sure you get one that's worked well in the past with other dogs and other smaller dogs.
Right, and the thing you want to do when meeting a dog, I mean, these dogs get big very quickly. So if you start off with a puppy, you want to make sure that you get into training right away. Right away with that puppy, because they get big to the point where, and most of the time, most of the people that I've seen that own Great Danes, it's like the 100-pound owner with the 150-pound dog.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And the dog takes them for a walk. So it's really important, if you are going for a Great Dane, get that dog
seen
in.
that video.
Yeah, get that dog into training right away. And that way you can guarantee that this will be a well-behaved dog. It's not going to be pulling you down the street. And but they're great. I love them.
There's three other problems with them, though. And one is lifespan is a big one, because 5, 6, 7 years is an old dog.
Wow, really,
and
for a Dane?
Yeah.
Yeah,
really.
they start aging pretty quick after 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the other parts that's bad of it is cost. Because it's not just first off about food.
Yes.
Right.
Because basically you're going to buy a giant 40-pound bag of food, come
It's
home,
gonna
cut
last
it
you
open
3
like one of those
days.
little cereal boxes, and that's what it's like. They just eat and eat and eat, and also the cost of the frankly of medical care, because getting like heartworm preventive for a dog that size is very expensive, and then beyond that, the yard cleanup, because it's roughly like owning an elephant.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And with that, I'd tell you, if you get a puppy, train it to go in one area in the yard.
There you go.
That way you don't have to go looking for it. It's all in one spot. Easy cleanup.
Right.
And also, if you have a Chihuahua, be careful where he's standing when that happens. Where'd the puppy go? You hear a muffled boop.
Aww.
The worst timing in the world for that puppy.
Yeah.
We got another email?
Sure
that you
do.
can help out with?
Dear Animal Talk.
What's this? A letter for me.
I heard a story about a cat getting caught inside a dryer and being killed. Is that an urban legend? And this is signed Smitty.
No.
I don't know if it's an urban legend or not. I've never checked on Snopes.
I had an aunt who knew a guy, told her about it.
We could look
Friend
it up
of
on
his?
Snopes.
I've actually had it happen at the clinic.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Really?
so this does happen. This does happen.
All
It's
right.
just like the
Well,
fan belt kitties.
I mean, because it
what?
won't just the fan getting caught underneath
Oh,
the
the
car.
fan belt. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't. I only caught part of that. I was like,
Yeah, well, the high heat and then the
Yeah.
bumping around and
It
just,
gets
Can't be good
cold. It gets cold. They decide to find someplace warm. They jump in the dryer. People don't notice. They turn the dryer on. Next thing you know, you have the cat spinning around, being beaten up and getting overheated, getting burned, and that the damage is pretty exceptional. And same thing with the fan belts. That's why they always recommend you hit your hood of your
slam
car
on the
when
hood
it's
of your car
cold
in winter.
to try to scare
Yeah.
the cat out, because that can cause some pretty exceptional damage.
the beep of the horn.
Beep of the horn also, but then your neighbors will learn to hate you for that.
Yeah, so if you just kind of,
yeah.
before you walk out, you just walk by and just kind of bang on your hood real quick.
Okay.
Scare whatever's in there.
Oh, all right.
Birds, squirrels. You see all these animals come flying out.
I remember a few years ago we had one that was caught. A cat actually got caught in the fan belt and was stuck by its hind leg inside the engine.
Oh, mercy.
And I remember that all the neighbors were injured horribly trying to help get the cat out because they kept reaching in, and the cat was thanking them with the 4-claw formation and just shredding their arms. But it was
poor baby was so
It was
scared.
and we're actually a very nice cat, but it's again one of those dangers of being an outdoor cat, and the dryer, one of those dangers of not checking in the dryer before you start up.
Does your hunting dog think it's impolite to point? Give Animal Talk a call. We have that fact or fiction hanging out there. We have 3 facts. 2 of them are false. 1 of them is true. You guess the true one. You win a fabulous prize for you and your pet. We have Sherry in Nebraska who wanted to take a shot at this. Sherry, welcome to Animal Talk.
Hi.
Hi. So we're going to recap these 3 stories, these 3 headlines for you really quick.
Okay, Super Bowl 30, Vanessa Williams performed at halftime despite being worried about her Yorkie, who disappeared into the crowd, but was found unharmed later.
Fact 2, in the 40 Super Bowls, less than 10 have been played without one participating team's city or nickname being animal-related.
And our 3rd fact, the only Super Bowl MVP with an animal name was Pittsburgh wide receiver Lynn Swann from Super Bowl 10 in Miami. Which one is the true fact?
Well, I know that one of them is wrong from personal knowledge.
Okay.
So now I have to pick between the other 2, and I know I probably will pick the wrong one.
Oh.
I'm going to pick Lynn Swann.
Okay.
Why not Lynn Swann?
Sherry, should have a little more faith in yourself.
Congratulations, congratulations,
Oh, great.
congratulations.
Thank you so much. I also wanted to ask you a question, too.
All right. What kind of pets do you have?
I have cats and dogs, and I have a horse.
Okay, so what's your question?
Well, and then I want to tell you something about a Chihuahua and a Great Dane that I know that live together. So I'll try to make this real brief.
Go right ahead and do that then, Sherry.
Okay. I just wanted to tell you, first of all, that my cat, who in fact is talking to you as we speak, she loves the telephone.
Oh, I love it.
And she's up here talking. She loves to talk on the phone. And she's talking away. I don't know if you can hear her. But she had laryngitis for a couple weeks, and she just now in the last couple of days gotten over it. I mean, she couldn't even make a sound. She opened her mouth, but she couldn't talk.
Oh, Sherry, get her on the phone. Pick her up. Get her on the phone.
She is on the phone as we speak. Come here, Spicy.
Spicy.
Now she's afraid to talk. But she was talking.
She knew she was on the radio. She got all scared.
That's that network you like, isn't it, Jamie?
Yeah. I mean, she just loves the telephone. In fact, if I need to find her, all I have to do is pick up the phone.
All right.
So anyway, I'm wondering, she didn't seem sick or anything, but she just couldn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to ask you about that.
Well,
that
sometimes
frequently.
a little bit of a respiratory infection can sometimes settle in, just like it can with people, and they lose their voice. It's certainly it's not a surprise. It happens now and again, and since it resolved, you don't get too worried about it. So hopefully it won't happen again. If it happens recurrently, then you have to worry about viruses, things like that. Yeah. But I would just keep an eye on it.
Well, like I say, it had never happened to her before. She's about 12, and it had never happened to her before. And I've never had a cat that it happened to. It just was. I thought it was really strange, and she was perfectly fine. Yep. She didn't sneeze or act any other way. She just couldn't talk.
Yep.
Right.
And then I wanted to tell you, I had a friend when we lived in Arizona who had a Chihuahua and a Great Dane. The Chihuahua was first, so she was a couple years older than the Great Dane. But the Chihuahua definitely ruled the roost.
Oh, yeah, they will, won't they?
I mean, they got along great. They played together, they slept together and everything, but I mean, when it was time to eat, the Chihuahua ate and the Great Dane sat there and waited till she was done, even though they had separate bowls.
Wow.
And then he'd go eat, and I mean, he'd back off if she wanted to do something that, they couldn't both do. He would back off and let her. I mean, she definitely ruled that roost.
Mm-hmm. Size has nothing to do with it.
No.
About being the boss. For instance, here we're both bigger than Donna.
Right.
But she's clearly in charge.
There you go. But that's because she's a woman, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, Sherry, we're going to put you on hold. Thanks so much, and get your information from you and get you a really cool... Don't forget to tell them what size T-shirt we can send you to. We're going to help you with your pet, and we're going to do that for Anita in Texas. Anita, welcome to Animal Talk.
Thank you, and thanks for taking my call.
Well, thanks for being there. What can we do for you, Anita?
I have a little 2-year-old rescue Yorkie that was an outside dog, and I brought him into my home, and I've kept him as a little house dog. I have another little pet, but he seems to want to mark everything. I guess he's so happy to be in my home, he wants it all to be his. Mm-hmm. But even if a garbage bag or a grocery sack lands on the floor, he's Johnny on the spot right over there to mark it for me.
Oh, how kind.
Is he neutered?
No.
Okay, that's going to be your first thing. Get him neutered. Get rid of the urge to mark territory. Okay. Once you get him neutered, but now what you're going to have to do is twofold. Neutering is only going to solve half the problem. Okay. The other part of the problem is now training. You need to make sure that you're always right there, and if you do not have your eyes literally on him, then he needs to be in a location where he's not going to do anything wrong, like a crate.
Well, now see, that's my problem. I work 12-hour shifts, and so I don't feel good about leaving a little dog in a crate for 12 hours or more. Is that all right?
It has more to do with their age. Typically, it's an hour per month old when we're working on potty training a puppy. So an hour per month old is what they can handle. Once we reach about 8-9 months, we can go 10-12 hours between potty breaks. And at this point, until we know the rules, because if you don't catch him at the start of that bad behavior, you're never going to be able to change it. We have to be there to stop it.
That's the problem. I never see him do it. It's always after the fact.
That's why I said you got to have, if your eyes literally aren't on him, he's got to be in a place where he can do no wrong.
It also could be the name of the businesses on the side of the bag, and it says market. And he's assuming
he was just taking his clues there.
What do I do about my couch and the chairs?
All right. Well, good luck with that. And thanks for the call, Anita. Does every bunny love some bunny sometime? Well, we can answer that here on Animal Talk. To look at one more email, I think.
Okay, dear Animal Talk.
You've got mail, baby, yeah.
In the show, in the hour on an up note. My female chow is 8 and has hard masses on her breasts.
Ooh.
One looks like it's going to break open. She just had a heat cycle. Should I go to the vet? And this is signed Judith. And the answer would be?
Yes.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom from Dr. Brad.
It's sort of a word of wisdom.
Yeah.
But this is, again, there was something we found out about the heat cycle. Again, we were talking about preventing problems, and we talked about preventing behavioral problems through neutering. And this is going to be a mammary tumor. And as I always say, I never have to explain to women about breast cancer. Women hear about breast cancer from when they're 14, or if not before. Men, when they start hearing about things like prostate cancer, they put their hands to their ears, start going la 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 really loud. They don't want to hear about it. But for women, they learn about all that sort of thing. And that's what's happening here. The hormones are really causing this to happen. And yeah, you definitely need to get to the vet because it might even be too late at this point. When you start seeing these mammary masses appear, it could be too late to make any difference. There really is no good reason to leave a dog unspayed anymore. Would you agree, Donna, with that?
Oh, there's absolutely no reason for it unless you're going to be, if you're a lifelong breeder of a particular breed of dog, there's really no purpose to having a house pet unspayed or unneutered. It's just so much better for them to extends their life, all kinds of good stuff. Right, Brad?
Yeah, I would agree.
That's what he's been saying. But no, she concurs.
Yes.
All right.
Dear Animal Talk.
All righty.
You've got mail, baby, yeah.
My neighbor feeds his snake live mice.
Ooh, okay.
I think that's barbaric.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do to stop him, or should I stop him? Do you have any suggestions on how I can deal with my neighbor? And this is signed Bobby.
Well, move.
Yeah. This is the natural. This is something that a snake would eat in the wild. So nothing wrong with it.
At least he's not pumping them through a pinky press.
There you go.
Maybe sneak a baby kangaroo over. It always seemed to work in the Warner Brothers cartoons.
There you go. All right, another hour of Animal Talk on tap coming up. Thanks for joining us for this one, and more of it. A whole nother hour coming up. Jamie, Donna, Dr. Brad.
Thanks for being with us for another episode of Animal Talk. Make sure you do all those podcast things in the podcast places. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. We hope you had a little fun along the way. Make sure you head on over to wearingfunny.com. You can grab yourself some gear to show off what a proud pet parent you are. Are you a cool cat mom? Are you a happy doggy daddy? We got all the gear just for you. Hats, shirts, all kinds of swag. Wearingfunny.com. Go check it out and show yourself a little animal pride with Animal Talk. Once again, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here. Have an exotic week and kiss your wild thing for us.
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
It would take a miracle. Bye-bye.